Hi!
Hi!
Well, welcome to Wine, Wine, and Once, a Once Upon a Time podcast. I'm Dee.
And I'm Lo. And we are welcoming you to a bad time. Whew. Each week, we are watching an episode of Once Upon a Time. We have been watching for a full decade now.
Since the beginning of time itself.
We are ancient. We are the Crypt Keeper. We have been watching since this show aired, most of it together. We've been watching together since season 2.
That's too long.
Yeah, it's upsetting. Truly upsetting. No. But we have been watching since the very beginning of the show. And each week we are going through, we will recap the episode, talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, keep track of some stats, and heads up, not a spoiler-free zone.
No. We spoil everything. The show spoils itself, let's be clear. It's terrible, so it spoils.
Right.
It's already spoiled.
We like to make it very clear at the at the top.
I needed you to know that I was saying it was rotten.
Yeah, you did, yes. Yeah.
Very important. Continue.
Yeah, it's a rotten show. Something rotten.
To the core. I'm sorry, did Once Upon a Time not skip or something for Descendants to Soar?
Sure, exactly, except I don't know that Once Upon a Time ever managed to skip.
I don't know, it didn't really walk, it didn't crawl, it like doggy paddled in a circle with one arm.
You're not wrong. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, it doggy paddled on a kickboard with a swim instructor holding it up. Anyway, we've seen the show. We've seen every episode, most of them more than once. While some of the details may be fuzzy, on purpose or on accident, we already kind of know what's going on in the show, and we talk about things with full knowledge. It is really important to us that you all know we will, of course, talk just a load of crap about the show, but...
You have to. To sit through a full episode, you must.
At the same time, this show is so near and dear to our hearts.
Yes. Like, the chokehold this show has on my very life.
The fact that it's been, 11 years now, and I refuse to watch anything else.
No.
I'll watch other things, to be clear, but...
Consistently, if you and I are just hanging out, we put this shit on. Yeah, for our own entertainment.
Because it's the best show in the world.
So true.
It's so much fun to watch.
So fucking true.
And sometimes like this episode, it's a genuinely good episode of television, and it lives up to its potential, and it's really, really good. And sometimes it's just, boy,
sometimes Red
eats her boyfriend.
This was 4 weeks ago, and no, we are still not the fuck over it.
Because nobody has helped me digest the boyfriend.
She digested her boyfriend.
That's exactly it. I said what I said.
And you're right for it. You are correct for it.
It's a whole thing, but, we're here now.
But we're here. We're here. What are you drinking?
I have a lot of rosé. I have a lot of rosé.
I have a lot of... Okay, did you know they make Old Vine cabs?
Interesting. I knew of Old Vine Zins, but I did not know of Old Vine cabs.
No, so here we are with that.
That sounds delicious.
So instead of... We're going to play a game. Usually, Lo and I will share how our week was, but...
I don't know if you got the vibe from a lot of...
We're a lot. I don't know what's happening.
It's a lot. Oh, boy.
So, we're going to mix things up. Rather than explicitly tell you how our week has been, let's just each share what we had for dinner and let the listeners decide how we're doing.
Sounds good to me. All
Great.
Right.
What did you have for dinner, Lo?
Ice cream. I had ice cream. I did not...
Okay. What kind of ice cream?
I had...
What kind?
Oh, well, I was fancy. I was a fancy bitch. I had coffee ice cream.
What?
Technically Vietnamese coffee ice cream.
Okay, well,
which was
I'm jealous.
delicious, and dark chocolate ice cream. So I had 2 scoops of ice cream for dinner.
You
because
just
I'm
no,
an
you
adult.
had a frozen mocha is what you created.
Correct, and it was delicious.
Holy shit.
But am I doing well mentally? No.
No. Fascinating.
And what did you have for dinner?
Well, thank you for asking. I had a hot dog. That's it.
Did you put mac and cheese on it, or like some bacon?
No.
Okay, good. All right.
No,
Yeah.
just a hot dog.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling mentally?
Well, I don't really like hot dogs. I had a hot dog.
So we're doing well, as you can see.
But we're here now, so it's better.
This is better.
I think so.
I think it's better.
We're going to find out by the end of this.
Right. If nothing else, this episode brings me pain. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I like this episode because we're finally on episode 18, The Stable Boy. It takes us to episode 18 to get Regina's backstory, and I love that for us.
I do too. I'm glad.
It's great.
I think the pacing on that was actually quite good.
It left them, and we'll get into this later, but I love that we wait this long, actually. Like, I sound angry, but I am thankful that
yeah, no, it's good.
They waited.
It's very good. This is such a good episode of TV. This was a
It
good episode.
is.
We're gonna rip it to shreds sometimes, but
Oh yeah, no, it
quite good.
It
most
is.
of the time.
Most of the time. Let me kick us off with the Disney Plus summary, as it is given.
Mm-hmm.
Emma keeps searching for evidence to prove Mary Margaret's innocence in Catherine's murder. The root of the evil queen's disdain for Snow White is revealed.
Accurate.
It's a mouthful of a sentence, the second half. The root
Oh, yeah.
of the evil queen's disdain for Snow White is revealed.
Yeah, we could say why the evil queen hates Snow White, disdains Snow White
Right.
is revealed.
Well, I think the problem is you see the word the root followed by evil, your brain goes the root of all evil.
Sure.
Because that's part of a phrase that we've all heard. Money is the root of all evil. Fine.
Sure. That's
But the root of the evil queen's disdain for Snow White is revealed.
it's
Just
the
say
of
her
the
villain
of the.
origin.
It's
Yeah,
the
uh-huh.
of the evil queen's disdain
For- Yep.
like there's just a
The
lot.
root of the four.
There's a
It's-
lot of little tiny words in that particular participle. But
It's a mouthful.
it is.
I said what I said.
It's a mouthful. It is.
I'm
what
gonna
it is.
drink. I'm gonna drink before
Wonderful. Yeah,
we
cheers.
do this. Cheers, everyone.
Everyone.
Oh, I'm sad we can't clink this week because it sounded really good on the recording.
It
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
so nice to have that clink. I miss our clink.
All right. As we dive into this, buckle up, everyone. This episode starts off in Storybrooke. Mr. Gold. So, okay, back up. It starts in Storybrooke, but a flashback in Storybrooke, which we don't often get.
True.
It's very confusing until you realize that's what's happening.
And they don't even do us the courtesy of throwing up like 3 weeks ago.
No.
They're just like, figure it out.
So we start with a flashback in Storybrooke. Mr. Gold visits Regina in her office and, he's asking for help in getting the charges for assaulting Mo French dropped. Because remember, that was the thing. He just
Right.
full on assaulted him.
Of course.
And so he's looking to have those charges dropped in exchange for helping her with the Mary Margaret problem with David. Like that whole situation,
Right.
At this point, they're just together and Regina doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And so Mr. Gold suggests that if something were to happen to Catherine, Mary Margaret could take the blame. And if she were to maybe, leave her skeleton key in the jail cell, Mary Margaret would run and, well, we all know bad things happen to people who leave Storybrooke, so bad thing would happen to Mary Margaret.
Sure.
We have a plan, I suppose.
It is a plan.
It certainly is. As we know, it doesn't work because Mary Margaret came back. So it's
Because Emma is so pure and virtuous.
our savior, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Back in the Enchanted Forest, we see a very young, very happy Regina, and she's riding her horse, and she has a beautiful braid, And she looks so happy. Her father's cheering her on. But her mother, Cora, is not impressed. She's like, you're writing like a man. You need to stop that. You're old. Everyone else your age is married. Get it together.
You're terrible. I hate you.
You're the fucking worst daughter ever.
Get off the horse.
You're too old. I can't leave you in a basket on the street, so I have to fucking deal with you. It's the whole thing. Good mom. Good mom.
Yeah, totally. Cora's a great mom. I don't know what you're talking about.
She is. So Cora's like, you should use a saddle. And Henry Sr. tries to defend Regina, but Cora's like, no. Shut the fuck up. No one wanted your opinion. And Daniel, this sweet little stable boy, offers Regina a saddle, but Regina's like, no, fuck that, and fuck you. I'm done riding for the day. And she tries to walk away from Cora, but Cora, who apparently has magic, magics her in the air and chokes her.
Yeah, totally normal. Totally normal.
Totally normal.
Definitely not abusive at all.
No, and Regina's like, Mother, you know how I hate when you use magic. I promise I'll be good. Let me go. And Cora, is like, fair enough. If you said you'll be good, that's all I want. I don't ask too much of you. Be free, my child. And Regina runs off and finds Daniel in the stable. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry for snapping earlier. And he's like, well, how are you going to make it up to me? And they make out.
Made up. So
they made, they made up and they made out. It's all great. Good for her. Good for them.
Yeah, no, and I will say, we won't talk too much about it because I know we both want to spend so much time on this. But there is something so special about how it's literally the same actress. They have not recast Regina. It is Lana Parrilla. But she is entirely different. And you know it from the moment she's on screen. This is not the Regina we know. This is an entirely different person. And I think it's really, and I want to bring it up now because I don't want to forget about it, but when she's up in the air being essentially strangled by her mother, like the way that this very powerful, scary person we've come to know is suddenly pathetic and
she's
scared
small.
For herself is so good. It's so good. Like the acting is amazing. So good.
Kiss.
And even the writing is really good in this episode. So like, well done, everyone.
Right? We're going to give you this so we can shred the rest of it. But well done on this.
Well done.
Exactly. We leave this brilliant moment of acting to go back to Storybrooke where Emma is leaving Granny's diner and she runs into David. And he's, wanting to talk about the Mary Margaret situation. And he tries to explain why he questioned her innocence. Like, no, you have to understand. There's evidence. I don't think he's in the wrong here.
No.
But
she's very suspicious from anybody else's perspective.
Right. And he's like, hey, can I go see her? And Emma's like, nah, fuck that, dude. She doesn't want to see you.
Fair.
Sorry about it. Over at the sheriff's station, Mary Margaret is sleeping in her cell and she wakes up and Regina is just standing there, looming in front of the cell.
Beautiful.
And Regina gleefully lists off the evidence and suggests, like, you could just confess and avoid the trial and it would save us all some time. And Mary Margaret's like, why? Why do you hate me so much?
Fair. She's pretty gleeful.
I'm delighted at the concept of, you might be going to jail.
This is fun
Fuck
for
you.
Me.
This is Christmas morning for her.
Yeah.
But we're moving, we move a lot in this one. We're moving right back to the Enchanted Forest. Daniel and Regina meet up and he wants to go riding, but Regina's like, no, I have to go for tea and it's stupid. And Daniel's like, hey, why don't you just tell your mother about our relationship, get it out in the open. Regina's like, absolutely not.
Poor sweet Daniel.
Sweet summer child.
Sweet. Poor.
So
pretty. So dumb.
Pitiful.
So dumb.
Dead. So dead.
Dumb. So dead.
And, Regina explains, hey, my mother wants me to be more ambitious and conniving in my marriage prospects. And, she came from poverty and brought us up, and she wants what's best for me, and
From
also,
a humble miller's daughter.
The most humble of miller's daughter, and also, her magic is too fucking powerful, so I can't do anything about that.
She nearly murdered me this morning, Daniel. That's why I'm upset.
Truly. And Daniel's like, yeah, sure. Her magic is powerful, but so is true love. That's the most powerful magic. And then they kiss. It's good for them.
So nice of them.
In the middle of this heartfelt moment, they hear a scream, and Regina hops onto her horse and rides towards the danger like the valiant hero she is.
Because she is a heroine who has done
nothing
wrong in her life ever.
Nope. And we see a little girl clinging to the back of her horse that's racing out of control. Regina rides up alongside her and saves her. This young girl thanks her and introduces herself as Snow White. Aww. They hug, and Regina tells her that she needs to get over her fear by getting back on the horse again as soon as possible, because Snow's like, oh, I'm never going to ride a horse again. And Regina's like, yes, you will. Get back on the horse, kiddo.
I'm a good parent.
She is. Running back over to Storybrooke, because who needs to stay in one place for more than 5 seconds?
Right.
Emma and Gold are talking about how maybe Mary Margaret should talk to the district attorney. And Mr. Gold says, hey, that skeleton key is not proof that Regina is complicit, but he's pretty sure that Mary Margaret's personality can help the charges get dropped if she meets with the DA. Fair enough. Why not?
I guess. Emma's like, nah.
Right? She's like, seems pretty sus, but whatever. I have nothing else. Fine. And Sydney shows up to drop off flowers.
Sure. Definitely not suspect. Totally unsuspicious. Very much an ally thing to do. I very much trust him. He's not up to anything at all.
Nope, I trust this man implicitly.
Yeah.
And he says, I haven't found anything linking Regina to the case, but I'm gonna keep looking. By gum, he has his Inspector Gadget gear on.
So he means business.
Uh-huh. Oh, he's prepared. And, Mary Margaret agrees to be interviewed by the DA. Albert Spencer, as he arrived. Us as viewers know Albert Spencer as King George, played by Alan Dale. I feel the need to always say it's Alan Dale, because that's what my notes tell me to say. Thank you, Lo.
You're welcome. I was like, I feel like we need to recognize him because he's in just everything. And I'm not gonna lie, every time I see him, I'm just like, Ugly Betty. He's in Ugly Betty. He's the dad on Ugly Betty. Like,
every time I see his name, I think of the rooster from Robin Hood. It's named Alan Dale.
Oh, see, every time I see his name and I think, Alan Hill, Alan Dale, Dusty Trail. So, we're all very well.
We're doing great. How's your ice cream?
Well, I don't have it anymore. It was delicious when I had it.
So the DA's here. Good old King George. Mary Margaret and the DA go into the interrogation room, and Mr. Gold is there as he is her attorney. Great. Sure. And Albert is questioning her about the incident where Catherine slapped her at the school, and he says, hey, if you wanted did you want Catherine gone so that you and David could be together? And he's totally negging her and trying to bait her to say stuff she shouldn't say. Mary Margaret keeps saying, no, I didn't want her gone. No, I wasn't angry. It's fine. And Gold's like, she's done talking. We're done talking. This conversation needs to be done.
Which therefore means it should be done.
Right? But
at least from the very least, it should be done on Snow's side, and she should shut up.
Yeah.
Again, I recognize these things are emotionally charged and whatever, and also you need drama for the TV show. But by the way,
sure,
your lawyer tells you to shut up. You shut up.
You forget that the legal system in this town was created by a curse.
No, I remember that. I remember that. I'm just telling everyone whose legal system was only created by like a semi-curse. Shut the fuck up when your lawyer tells you to shut up. Don't keep talking.
It's solid advice. But Mary Margaret does not shut up.
No, of course not. What does she say?
Well, I'll tell you. She snaps and says, you know what? I did want Catherine gone. Is that what you wanted to hear? And the DA is like, fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, and his ears go up.
great.
I got really fixated on it.
It's a good moment. It's great though because Mary Margaret snaps. She snaps and immediately is like, "Oh, what have I done? Oh, I fucked up."
Correct.
It's like, yeah, you sure did.
That's why you shut up when the lawyer tells you to shut up.
Please and thank you. And Emma and Regina are watching all of this unfold, and Regina is delighted. She smiles at the confession because she's like, "Oh fuck yeah, it's all going to plan.
Yeah, yes.
All going to court. Everything's coming together." Back in the Enchanted Forest, Cora bursts in on Regina and uses magic to put her in a gown. Like, she sees her and is like, "God, what are you wearing?
This is terrible.
There.
That won't do."
Precisely. And Regina's like, "Mom, what the fuck?" And Cora says, No. The king is coming because he wants to thank the woman who saved his daughter, Snow White. And Leopold arrives with pomp and circumstance to thank her and explain that Snow lost her mother years ago and it's tragic. And great news, he has been looking for a wife to mother his child ever since.
Yeah, normal. That's a normal thing to say. Yep.
And he proposes, like, he drops down on one knee. This man with a balding head gets down on one knee. Is like, "Marry me, woman I met 30 seconds ago." And Cora's like, yes, she accepts. We love this for us. I absolutely would love to marry you. I mean, I want my daughter to marry you, not me. Her, not me.
It's definitely not me. We definitely didn't have a thing. Here's the thing.
How does he not recognize this woman?
The show?
Or are we hallucinating? Did they not have a thing?
No,
I could swear to fuck they did.
They have a thing. I'm almost positive the whole Miller's daughter thing is Leopold and Ava. Because remember we learned that Snow's mom's kind of a bitch.
And she's like, "Leopold, darling, that woman you want to marry is actually knocked up by some simple bitch and you shouldn't be with her."
Right, because she's not, a virgin or whatever.
So why in the fuck does Leopold not recognize this woman?
And again, I know why it is, and that's because they haven't written the storyline where Cora and Leopold know each other, but...
Biblically. Carnally. Emotionally?
Certainly emotionally. I feel like we can't say carnally because he's very certain
cannot.
The baby is not his.
No. But it's still weird. It still makes this fuck fern potential aspects of a family tree and fuck fern are real scary because of this aspect.
I don't like the number of lines this is going to put on the fuck fern.
No, it's not good.
It's too many.
It's not good.
It's too many what it is.
It's too many. But at any rate, Cora has accepted this wedding invitation proposal for her daughter, and Regina runs off to find Daniel and is like, "Oh my god, we need to run away together. I only care about you. I'd rather be poor with you than a queen without him." And he's like, like being a stable boy's wife would be hard. And she's like, "I don't give a fuck." So he puts a ring on her finger and they kiss. And suddenly, tiny child Snow White standing in the stable and like sees them and is like crying. And Regina's like, "The fuck are you doing here?" And she was like, "I got back on the horse, like you told me to." And then she
my horse! Have we considered that Snow White might be a ghost? That's my consideration.
It's just great because, like, Regina's like, "Yeah, I told you to get back on a horse, not my horse.
Like,
why are you here?"
Truly. And Snow White, like, I just like that she's kind of just in her cape, so you, like, can't even really see her hands. She just looks like a ghost. She's a little sheep ghost. She's like a little Pac-Man ghost.
She is. Also,
I did just wiki it. Yes. Cora, Leopold.
No! Lo, you need to stop.
I'm just saying. And I know in this episode they had not come up with this little
But they should have thought of it later.
When they were writing the next episode.
Made a cheap as fuck excuse. Like, she magicked her appearance to look different. Like, give me something shitty to make me feel better about this.
I don't know. Make it not happen.
Well, they were going to make it happen, Lo. They don't know how not to.
Yeah, but it's the number of incest.
It's only gonna grow.
It's going to get bigger, and I don't like how many. But
no.
Okay.
But
all right.
So
it's the implications.
Yeah. So the ghost has run off and Regina chases after her. And she catches up to Snow. Snow has fallen on the ground and is sobbing.
Right, of course.
And she's like, why are you kissing him? You're supposed to be my mother.
You did that quite well, and I'm very offended.
I practiced.
That was
I wish that were a lie.
That was beautiful.
And, Regina explains, I don't love your father. And Snow White says that she wanted Regina to be her mom. And, oh my God, you're ruining everything. And Regina says, no. True love is the most powerful magic, and it makes happiness.
How do you think Regina feels, like, 7 years later when it's being sung to her? Love is the most powerful magic, and she's like, bitch, I taught you that, and shut the fuck up.
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, I came up with that. Give me some rights to the song at the very least.
At the very least, I deserve royalties.
Uh-huh. But Snow White agrees, like, you should marry Daniel. Oh my fucking God, you're right. True love. And Regina's like, yes, sure, you're right. This has to be a secret because bad shit will happen. Can you keep a secret? And Snow's like, I think so. And Regina says, not good enough. You have to be sure. My mother is going to stand in the way. This needs to be a secret. And Snow's like, yep, okay, fine.
It's a secret.
Secrets aren't no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
Well, they sure do. But only
Just
when you tell them.
Uh-huh. In Storybrooke, Emma is reading from Henry's storybook. God.
It's funny.
And is it?
No.
August arrives. Because, of course, we haven't seen him in a while.
You know, he had to earn a paycheck.
He did. She's questioning her superpower, aren't we all?
Yes.
Aren't we all? And August says his perspective changes as he writes. And he's like, like sometimes in the middle of a book, I have to start all over or I get new ideas. I really do believe this is just the writer's approach to Once Upon a Time. Halfway through the season, they come up with new ideas and they start over and they forget everything else.
That certainly explains the core of Regina Leopold
Correct.
conundrum.
We have our answer. But, August offers this advice and suggests that she look at things from the beginning of the investigation with the knowledge she has now. Sure. And she decides to go back to the scene of the crime. And August tags along, because who gives a fuck about crime scenes? Anyone can go.
Right, of course.
Why not? Anyway, they go to the troll, whatever bridge. And August has trouble walking because of shin splints. That's a lie. Wait! Oh! It's a lie! He lies to her!
Straight to her goddamn face!
Holy shit! I am sorry for screaming in your ears. Holy shit!
It is a straight lie.
She says, what's wrong? And he says, it's my leg. Shin splints. No, sir, your leg is turning to wood. Oh my God.
It's a straight lie.
Oh my God.
It is a straight lie. Yeah, that's...
And the audacity that they do this right after talking about her superpower is pretty fucking bold. Like, that's pretty fucking bold.
Right. In the episode where she's questioning it, but we're supposed to be going...
Right.
Which, again, if it was our first time viewing, wouldn't clock it. It wouldn't have been a lie because, sure, he'd have shin splints. Weird, but okay.
Well, and it's interesting because later on when he's like, look at my leg, it's wood, and she's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's not
Right.
It's different because that's her own belief in the way. Like, that's her inability to see the, whatever.
Right. She can't
Also,
see
he's being
the
honest.
magic.
Like, but this is just a fucking lie.
That was a straight lie, and she should have been like, that was weird, and you're lying to me, but okay, whatever.
Like, fine, you keep your secrets.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really mad. Okay, more on that shit later, I guess. Oh, right. Okay. So he has his not shin splints, and Emma looks in the hole where the heart, the heart that Ruby found.
Poor
she found a fucking heart.
poor Ruby, who ate her boyfriend and then found a human heart.
Oh, God. But she goes there, and she finds a piece of a shovel. And she's like, oh, shit. if I can find the owner of the shovel, I can find out who buried the heart and I can clear Mary Margaret's name. This is fabulous.
Right. Also, I would like to point out, okay, and I know this was for ease of shooting. I know this wasn't a thing. That shovel shard was visible, like,
right,
with the naked eye. She didn't have to dig
right.
more. She didn't
Well,
have to,
okay.
like, move some dirt. It was there.
My honest to God theory is that she was never at that crime scene. Ruby found the heart
and secured the crime scene.
She had someone else there. She was like, hey, Henry, after school, do you mind securing? I don't think Emma has ever looked at the crime scene.
Truly, because, I mean, that was it. And again,
egregious.
I know. I understand from we are simply watching a TV show and you've only got so many hours in a day and sometimes the shovel shard just has to be right there. But, like, we could have at least put it under something.
No. You ask too much.
I don't think I do. I think it should have at least been, like,
kick some dirt around, or she falls down and moves dirt.
Right, like
kicks
a
it with her boot.
A little different, not just, oh, I looked in the hole and this time there was a shard of a shovel there.
No.
Because it's very clearly not planted because
right
of what occurs later in this episode.
It's bull fucking shit.
I'm just saying.
It's ridiculous, but August's like, well, do you know who that belongs to? And Emma smiles like, oh, fuck yeah, I do. And so they go to Regina's house, and
right,
Henry has tried to like, give her these code words. He's like, the eagle's in the nest, and the package is on the door. And Emma's like, bitch, I didn't bring the decoder. I don't know what that means. And he's like, oh, my mom's in the shower, and the key's on the porch. Great. They go into the shed, and they find the shovel immediately, and the piece fits on top, and everything's coming together for Emma. This is a great moment for her. She is tickled pink.
Right.
She thinks that she has now been like, my superpower wasn't broken, not realizing that she just missed a major fucking lie. And that's bananas to me. Like, she's literally like, I've been vindicated. I'm so validated. Smart. My superpower isn't busted. I am a genius. Meanwhile, Woodsy McGee over here is literally lying to her face. His nose should be growing because he's Pinocchio.
Well, yeah, but, maybe it is just, but only invisibly through magic.
There's just a long, invisible nose. What if he accidentally hits her with it? She's just like, what the fuck just hit me? I would love that.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, didn't you see that branch over there?
Continues to light her.
So his nose keeps
oh, no.
smacking her in the face.
Why are we like this? Again, I need to remind you guys, we had hot dogs and ice cream for dinner. You know where we're at right now.
It's not
very,
not in a good space.
Nope. Oh boy, where am I? Back in the Enchanted. Go on.
I was about to say, Cora's about to gaslight girl boss and gate Snow White.
I mean, Lo said it best. We go to the Enchanted Forest where Cora is in fact gatekeeping, girl bossing, and gaslighting Snow White about the wedding. Well, about Regina technically, but they're getting ready for the wedding, and she's like, "You can be a flower girl," and oh my God, you're so cute. You and my daughter have gotten so close, and Regina has pulled away from me, and I'm just so sad, and I would do anything to make her happy. So she's being manipulative.
Yeah, no, she's. When we say gaslighting and gatekeeping and girl bossing,
we mean it, honestly.
Truly, she is manipulating and playing this 11-year-old like a fiddle.
Uh-huh. And naturally, because, Snow is an 11-year-old, it works. She manipulates Snow by saying, Snow, you know how hard it is to lose a mother, and wouldn't want that for Regina. That's just so sad.
Right.
And Snow's like, then call off the wedding. Don't make her do this. And she uses her pathetic Snow voice. And it's like, don't make her marry my father because it will tear you two apart. This isn't what Regina wants to do. She loves another man. And Cora says nothing will take her daughter away and insists that Snow tell her everything. Like, Come to Grandmama, child.
Grandmama.
I said what I said.
You
We're already we're already racing right back to Storybrooke. Emma brings a warrant to Regina's house to search for the shovel, and she tells Regina about the broken shovel piece and says an anonymous caller saw Regina digging at the scene of the crime.
Very believable.
Yep, and Regina's like, who? And she's like, I don't know. Maybe they were afraid of how fucking rude you'd be.
Yeah, like...
I forget what exactly she says, but she's basically like, I don't know, maybe they were afraid you'd be a bitch.
I think it was something along the lines of, they probably didn't want to piss you off.
Mm-hmm.
Something about, maybe they were afraid to piss you off.
Now, and this is an important moment that I'll let Lo talk about later. But this scene it means something for one of the shrubberies. Emma goes to check the garage and is infuriated to realize that the shovel it's the one she saw the day before is gone, and now there's a new, perfectly intact shovel in its place. And she turns around and is like, someone warned you, and Mary Margaret's innocent. And Regina's like, get the fuck out. Mary Margaret's a liar and a murderer. She's gonna pay for what she's done. Fuck this. She has destroyed the last life she will ever destroy.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
And like the sane human she is, Emma goes to August at the hotel, and she's like, what the fuck did you do? You fed Regina information because you're the only one that knew about the shovel. And he's like, hey, I've been here all night. You can feel the TV. It's still warm. And she's like, I don't know. I'm not convinced. Which is weird. She should be convinced because she has a superpower. And if he's being honest, she should know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that.
She's not being lied to, so it's
but I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
No, because sometimes her superpower works in that direction where she's like, I have a superpower, I can tell when I'm being lied to and you're being truthful. But like sometimes like this, she doesn't call it out. She's just like,
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I feel like you're lying to me, even though I technically have a superpower that tells me when people lie to me. So
exactly.
It's just,
but we digress.
The rules are unclear.
Correct. Regina is taunting Mary Margaret in her jail cell, and Mary Margaret tries to apologize. She's like, I don't know what I did, but I'm so sorry that I did something to make you hate me. And Regina's like, apology not accepted. And she says, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the lighting. I don't know if it's Lana Parrilla. But there is something in this scene that she does. And part of it is Lana Parrilla's acting. But her eyes are so dark in this scene.
It's good.
And maybe maybe it's slight CGI because we know they kind of manipulate her face a little bit in a couple of these scenes. But there is something about the way she holds herself and the way her eyes are that just she looks like a predator. She looks like a predator who has caught her prey. Her eyes are dark. She is laser focused. It is such good acting. She's scary.
It's so good. It's so good.
good.
And she leans in really close and she goes, I know you didn't kill Catherine, but you deserve everything that is happening to you.
So good.
It's so fucking good.
It's so good. She's so intimidating here, and she looks evil.
Yep. I love it.
It's the one.
Absolutely love it.
Certainly a scene where I'm like, I know why you picked this person to be your evil queen. I understand why casting chose this person because she just looks evil.
She does. It's
again, Regina has done nothing wrong ever in her life, and she is not evil.
No, she looks evil.
She looks so evil in this scene.
I love it.
She looks even more evil than when she's swanning about in her evil queen costumes.
It's true. This is one of the few times, again, I feel like it was earlier in the show you'd made a comment about, in Storybrooke, we are not given a lot of evidence of why Henry could think his mother is evil. This is why.
Right.
This is why he thinks his mother is evil.
Right. And it's I sure wish, and I know why we didn't, but it would have been nice to get a couple of these scenes, maybe not to this intensity, but just to get
something.
a couple of scenes with him where it's she's not being strict, she's being controlling and evil and
manipulative.
unkind.
And we get it in season 2. They give us
they do give it to
the
us.
parallels are
yeah, no, like we've just hit this run of episodes where I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna have
tickled pink.
I'm not gonna have a lot of bad things to say because they're all so good.
Mm-hmm.
This was what made me fall in love with their show.
Absolutely.
Bring us back.
We hop back over to the Enchanted Forest. Our last stint in the Enchanted Forest for this episode. Regina and Daniel have met in the stables in the dead of night, and they're prepared to run away. But shocking no one at all, Cora catches them.
Yeah.
Oh, rats. She's like, it's my house. You really think you can sneak out of my house? Nah, absolutely not. And, Regina's insisting it's her life, and Cora says, no, it's mine, because all these deals that she's had to make to get them out of poverty and where they are now.
Right.
Regina says that Daniel makes her happy, and Cora pretends to understand it. She's like, oh, well, if this is what makes you happy, then I want you to be happy. And she goes and pulls Daniel aside, gives him some parenting advice,
This will go well, I'm sure.
Yep.
This is going to go so well.
And what she says to him is, a parent should always do what's best for their children. And he's like, that's what you're doing now. And she's like, damn fucking right it is. Rips his heart out and crushes it immediately. Regina likes to be a dramatic bitch. She likes to hold it.
She plays with it.
Cora is no mercy. She pulls and crushes immediately.
You said what you said.
I said what I said and will not be changing it. And she crushes Daniel's heart. Regina's sobbing and trying to kiss him back to life. Sweetie baby girl, he has no heart. You cannot true love's kiss this.
Everyone knows that the heart stores all the love.
'Tis true. We've learned this so many times. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've ever really learned it. We've had to deduce our own rules about when and why not true love's kiss works.
So true. One day we will come up with the actual rules for this.
One day. And as Regina is sobbing, Cora tells her that love is weakness and that giving up love gives one true power. She says that she has saved Regina and that Regina will be queen. We then see Regina being fitted for a wedding gown, and Snow is there, and she's like, "You'll look beautiful when you marry Daniel." And Regina's like, What do you mean? Talk to me,
small child.
Say more. And she's like, "Did you tell my mother about this?" And Snow's like, "Yes, I didn't want you to lose your mother." And Regina turns away and is...
Mother.
I will not. I will not. And this scene, I'm not going to discuss it now because this scene I could speak about for hours. But once Regina learns that Snow has spilled the one thing she said, "Hey, don't tell anyone this," Regina turns away and composes herself. Turns back around and says, "I'm not mad. I was not in love with Daniel. It was just infatuation. And I'm going to marry your father, and it's going to be great. And I'm excited to be your stepmother." And Snow and Regina hug, and Snow leaves, and Cora enters, commenting that she's so proud of Regina. And Regina starts kind of saying, "Hey, you knew the king was in town. You orchestrated this, didn't you? You made it so I had to rescue Snow White. This was all you're doing." And then she kind of growls out that she should have let Snow White die instead.
Sure.
Instead of saving her, she should have just let her die.
Yeah.
And we now go to Storybrooke, which is where we end the episode. In her office, Regina holds up the ring that Daniel had given her in the Enchanted Forest and says, "We got her, Daniel." And Mary Margaret is taken away by the police, ignoring Emma when Emma tries to talk to her. Emma questions Mr. Gold's help and is like, "Hey, I came to you for help and this is not helping." And Gold's like, No, it's not over yet. He still has time to do a little magic."
Sure.
Emma's pretty pissed off and she throws the flowers that Sydney brought over She slams it against the wall, revealing a bug that was planted inside the flowers.
Uh-huh.
Shocking. Realizing this, Emma goes to find August to apologize, and she's like, hey, it wasn't you. And then baby girl Ruby starts screaming. Never a good sign. If Ruby is screaming, it means she's found something horrible.
Look, it's more time to traumatize Ruby.
Oh my god. And so they run to go find her, and Ruby says she's in the alley, and she's frantic and manic. And they go to see what this means, and they reveal that Catherine is alive, very dirty, covered in mud and grime, and she's very confused, and she's in the alley. And that's the episode.
Sometimes we have avocados. Ask us if we have avocados.
I'm unwell.
Well done. Beautiful job.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
recap.
I like to think my true gift was acting.
Okay. So, number one, I would like to bring up one thing before we get into anything of substance.
Please do.
And it's just something, as listeners might know, we like to pause on things that happen in the background.
I forgot about this. Fucking hell.
In Regina's office, in that first scene with with Mr. Gold.
Her office is a lot, first of all. It's all black and white.
There's a lot happening in that office. Sitting on some sort of mantle of some sort is a horse statue, which is fine. You know, I like it.
Is it?
Well, I like the horse statue in that I like that the little nod to she was an equestrian. Like, she loved to ride. So I appreciate that. It's just that the way the light and the wallpaper behind it,
it's so
the phrase
good.
hung like a horse?
Oh, I know it very, very well now. Because of this.
It sure looks like that. My notes, let me just read these.
Please do.
Notes. The first note I wrote for this episode. The horse statue in the background seems to have a massive erection. And I'm not wrong.
And you're not wrong. You are not incorrect.
And that has nothing to do with this episode. That has absolutely nothing to do with anything except for the fact that the way the light fell on the stupid lattice work wallpaper and the horse in front of it.
It looks like this horse is packing something.
Yeah.
It's a packing horse.
It's not on its back.
Ooh.
So, anyway, moving on. Moving on now.
Thank God.
I feel if it's up to me, I think we should talk about Snow White.
I think that's a great place to start. Are we talking old Snow White or young Snow White? What's happening?
I mean, we could talk about both, but the casting on young Snow White. Bailey Madison?
Oh my God.
I mean, I was offended in your retelling because you sounded so much like both Bailey Madison and Jennifer Goodwin. Mother! But, like, such
I've
a
been practicing.
It was so good. The casting? Unbelievably good.
Bailey Madison does this thing where she does the thing that Jennifer Goodwin does where she smiles when she's crying.
Yeah.
And I don't know how old she was when she was filming this. I imagine preteen-ish.
Right.
Like, she's pretty young.
Yeah, maybe a teenager.
Maybe. But the amount of, like character studying she had to have done of watching Jennifer Goodwin to get some of these mannerisms down is unreal.
Though it's the mother of it.
Mother.
She sounds like Jennifer Goodwin.
And just watching in this episode even, there's a few times when Regina's, being a bitch to adult Regina and adult Snow, Mary Margaret. In the cell, she does this thing where she kind of like flips her eyes back and forth and they're wide and filled with like pain and terror. Baby Snow does the same thing.
Right. No, she did so much work to make this character feel like the same person.
Right. And This show gets some things so right. One thing they consistently get correct is casting younger versions of characters.
I feel like anytime they do younger, they do
Yeah.
a really nice job. Now, as we get later in the seasons, I think some of our younger not castings, any
Yeah.
casting they do is correct. I will say, like, I think young Zelina versus young Regina,
Not as good.
not as much. Regina in
But
this episode
oh my god.
feels like an entirely different person.
And really quick, speaking of castings, I know we hate talking about season 7. Adult Henry to Jared Gilmore pisses me off.
Upsettingly good.
It's the ears. It's the sticky outy ears.
Sticky out ears. Yes. No, upsettingly good. They're so good at casting up and down. Like they're really good at casting. And like I said earlier, like the stuff that Lana Parrilla does as Regina when she's feeling victorious, even that where I'm not talking matching casting, but just the casting of that. I understand in that scene. I was like, not that I was ever questioning why you would pick Lana Parrilla for this role.
Oh my god, but she's so vindictive and manipulative and just she's a bitch in that scene. Yeah, and it's unbridled joy at someone else's pain.
Right, and she feels predatory. She feels like there is something very much that's like pointed in her face.
It's a tangible thing you can look at and go, oh no, this is not just a misconception of, oh, she's upset. No, she's evil in this moment.
Right, and it's so interesting because especially I think her in particular, other people do a really nice job on this show, but there is something like, it's almost like you're watching her and in that moment where she's gloating at Snow through the bars, like her face is angular. She feels sharp. She feels like she is on the attack. And then you juxtapose that with young
soft
Regina, who
baby
feels
girl.
Soft. She is the tiniest child, and I love her
powder
so much.
Blue. She's in powder blue. She has pretty braid with a ribbon.
Soft, like everything about her is soft and loving and wonderful. And then you she was done favors by the episode putting her right next to each other, like.
But you still have to have that breadth of acting where you can be sympathetic and kind and pure goodness, and then 180 into, I know you're not a murderer, but I'm going to fucking frame you. Yeah. And I will laugh and smile while it's happening.
I'm going to feel good about it.
I won't apologize. This is my happiness.
This. Fuck you.
Right? And there was one scene at the end that Lo has coined Regina's villain origin story.
It's so good.
I don't know if I need to put the timestamp in the summary or something. I don't know, but
the acting.
If you don't watch the episode, watch the last scene
with Snow and Regina.
Yes, it's the moment where Snow's like, I told your mom she said that you were gonna be separated. I didn't want you to go through what I went through. I told her everything. Are you mad? Mm-hmm. And Regina kind of turns around. You can see the sorrow and sadness. And all of a sudden she just straightens up and turns. And you can see the moment she shifts from...
And there's they absolutely do some stuff with makeup. She turns...
In lighting. The lighting is changed entirely.
Right.
There's
it goes
something...
From
but subtle.
It goes from warm to cold lighting.
Yep.
And they absolutely do some stuff with her lips. Where her lips are pale... She realizes they turn red, and then she turns back around and they're pale again.
Yep.
But, there's something about it where she turns, Snow gives her this news.
Yep.
She turns to process. You see her sad and, hurt, and then all of a sudden she draws up. Her shoulders are squared. Her face
she has shoulder pads suddenly. I don't know.
Her shoulders are different. Her face is different. And suddenly she turns around and she is the evil queen.
Yeah.
She goes from this young, sweet girl that we were kind of rooting for, weirdly enough, which props to them for getting us to root for this woman.
Right.
In the span of 40 minutes. that you
Right.
were kind of
And,
rooting for her, and then she
and then
turns around, and all of a sudden she is the evil queen.
it's so good. I don't know how Lana Priya does this, but
She's
whenever
so
she is
good.
being sympathetic and good, she has a single vein in her forehead that it's only when she's being good. And how does she activate this?
She's so good.
Like, it's not when she's being angry. It's specifically when she's doing like sympathetic faces. She has this one vein that's always kind of more prevalent, and she's just able to fluctuate between those two so much, and you
so
see it
good.
immediately after when her mother's like, Cora's like, I'm proud of you. She's like, oh, you are, and then she's like, oh, this is all you're doing.
Right.
I should have let Snow die.
Yeah.
Like, it's so flawlessly done.
No, she's just so good. This show is so lucky they cast her.
Mm-hmm.
And that she was clearly having a great time for 7 full seasons.
7 seasons.
Because she does more for this show than I would argue anybody else. Robert Carlyle absolutely does an amazing job, but I do feel like maybe halfway through he's kind of like, oh great, this is a paycheck.
The problem with Rumpelstiltskin's character is they want him to be
everything.
They want him to be everything, and also morally gray, where he can get away with shady stuff, but they keep trying to give him redemption arcs. By like the 4th one, it gets a bit exhausting to be like, I no longer care about this character because he's just going to fuck up the chance we give him, and so I have stopped caring. Whereas Regina, yes, she gets many redemption arcs, but each time she learns something and gets better.
Yeah, like, and her redemption arcs are shorter because she keeps learning a little more.
Or there's like they're the ones where it's the characters think that she's evil and has regressed, but she's doing it like the Queens of Darkness. She's absolutely fucking with them for a while. And then I think eventually she lets them in like, no, evil must pretend to be one of. Let me be evil.
Right. Yeah, no.
To stop them. But like her intentions switch and she gets better each time. Rumpelstiltskin does not get better each time, so it gets exhausting to care about him. Whereas Regina, they realize it too late. By like season 6, they're like, oh fuck, she's our main character.
Right. Regina's the main character of this show.
It's her story. It's her finding her happy ending. She thinks the curse is her happy ending.
Right. I would love to visit the alternate universe where this is Regina's show.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Regina's show from the moment it is incepted.
Right. Because they try to make it Emma's show, and that's not to say that Emma is not a catalyst for a lot, and she does move
Emma's
the plot forward. And
for a lot.
Right. But she's not a character that has longevity of I care for your happiness and I need you to succeed, because by and large, she has things okay.
Well, and
she gets hooked. She has a son. She has her parents. And yes, shitty things happen here and there.
Yeah.
Regina gets dealt shitty card after shitty card.
Well, and I think one thing that like Jennifer Morrison has working against her, because she's a good actress.
Mm-hmm.
She's
absolutely
a good actress, and she does good work on the show. It's just, it sucks to be the point of view character, because it's like you have to be the character that doesn't know what's going on. You have to be the character who is looking around, and like you have to voice out loud what the audience is supposed to be thinking, which means you get the clunkier dialogue. So there's part of it that I'm like, I get why it feels Regina is the main character even when she's not, because she's just a more compelling character.
Well, and up until a certain point, we really do think that she has been orchestrating all this. We later learn that it was Mr. Gold all along. She is Agatha.
He's the Agatha of the situation.
It really is just WandaVision, and the more I think about it, it just pisses me the fuck off. Like, I cannot with this. But Regina is more interesting because she's not good. If that makes sense. Like, Emma's whole thing is, I'm the savior, I'm the savior, I'm the savior. Like, she gets so mad about it. She's like, oh, well, I'm the fucking savior. And Regina's like, whoa, why are you looking at me? I'm the evil queen. Don't come to me for advice. Like, please don't talk to me.
I'm not the person you want for this situation. They're like, too bad you're the one we've got.
Right. And I wish, fine, I think for season 1, perhaps, you need Emma. Mm-hmm. But season 2 should have marked a switch, or there should have been an earlier switch where
I feel like
this is no longer Emma's story.
I feel like once we bring Cora into the situation and kind of really delve into Regina is trying her best to kind of unlearn these things.
That's the thing, and I know we'll talk
more.
Exactly, and we'll get more into some of these things she's unlearning in the Cora-centric episodes, but the mirroring techniques that you see her using on Henry in season 2 that Cora did to her deliberately, and it gives a whole frame of reference of her parenting that she had growing up was complete trash, and so of course this is the only point of reference that she has on both sides. I mean, I know that the show likes to frame Henry Sr. as like a good guy who... I don't know what he is. I don't know what Henry Sr. is. Because we see Cora treating Regina like absolute hot trash. And
strangling her.
And he's like, no, dear, stop, please. Like, that's literally...
Right.
He makes the minimal efforts of, oh no, again, darling, no.
I wish we'd gotten more scenes of Barbara Hershey and him together. I want to understand. Feel like I want to know why.
What is this?
Right, like, again, we're shown Cora's incredibly powerful. She has a plan. I would absolutely be fine with the idea of, you know what? Henry wants the best for his daughter. He wants her to be happy, and he's fucking terrified of his wife.
Right.
Like, and he's afraid for his life, so he can only speak up to a certain point, and then he's gonna bow out. That's fine to me. I'm great with that story. I just want it. I want it on my screen a little bit.
Yes, I want the contextual evidence to back up what I'm having to fill in the blanks for.
Right. I want to know that that's what he's feeling, and we can't, like, I think the actor himself does a good job of kind of filling in those blanks of trying to be like, I don't like what you're doing to my kid. Please don't do that to her. Right. But also, please don't do it to me. Thank you.
Yeah, and I wish we had seen moments where, like, why is he afraid? Like, I'm sure he has reason to be afraid, but give me the contextual evidence that says she's already done some shit to him, and he's like, yeesh, yikes, pass, okay, I'm out.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
So we don't get that.
No.
We just will never understand. We will never get that piece of the puzzle, and
I would like to shout out Barbara Hershey as Cora.
God, it's such good casting. The way that she delivers lines is you can see there is such a, like, why are you mad? I'm doing this for you.
Yes.
I'm doing this for us. This is me loving you. Because she truly... And I think that's what kills me again. We will do this more when we get there, but when she finally has her heart back and she's like, you would have been enough. Like, we have to keep in mind this woman does not have a heart right now. Quite literally, she has no heart.
Right. We don't know that, but she has no heart.
Right. And I think that they don't really give us a moment to, like, sit on that for a moment. Like, oh, she is awful because she has given up. She says this. It's important. She does tell Regina, giving up love will give you strength.
Right. No, like, and again, this is one of those things that I think was planned very, very well, executed very, very well. We just, as you pointed out, got a hint. She said, giving up love will give you strength. That is our hint right now. In season 1, we're not going to hear about it for God knows how long. We're not hearing about it till season 2.
We don't hear about it until she's like, Rumple, I can't fuck you anymore because I got rid of my heart.
Don't bring up that. Don't bring up that. But we're literally not going to hear about it basically till the Miller's daughter, where it's revealed she's taken out her heart to not feel things.
Yep.
So there's something incredibly planned out about that, and it's one of those things that makes me almost angry because I'm like,
you could have done so.
Could have been
it was
doing
there.
This. You could have been doing this the whole show.
infuriating because what is it, season 3, when Regina's brokenhearted because she's stuck in Neverland, she tries to bury her heart, and they're like, you can't do that. But I think she does, and she's not a bitch. She's just sad. She's just not sad suddenly. She's like, okay, I can deal a little bit better.
Right. Well, and I'm just...
And then Robin puts it back in her chest, and it's very sensual, and it means a lot to me. And
I don't want to talk about Robin Hood because I will have to spend 7 hours on Robin Hood.
The first episode that Robin makes an appearance will just be a 2-part special. Thank you for coming.
It will just be me screaming.
Yes. You know, like those whale soundtracks you can buy? It's just Lo screaming mournfully into a microphone for 7 hours.
For 7 hours. That's about correct, yes. It's so different. The experience of watching this now as a near 30-year-old is entirely different from young, college-aged us. In that, perhaps the...
We used to care much for Hook.
Hook.
That was very much the vibe.
He's cool. He's fun.
Colin O'Donoghue's a lovely gentleman.
He seems delightful. I would.
He seems happy to be here. He seems happy to be here for the writing. He seems like the guy who would jump off a table, break his ankle, and continue doing the scene. And I love that.
I love that for him. No, he seems delightful. I would love to go grab a pint with him.
But know who would treat you right?
Robin Hood. Robin Hood would treat you
correct.
Right. Robin Hood.
Hook would not. You know why? Hook has a murder hand. We're not going to explain what these things mean. You'll just have to come back later.
You need to understand. Hook has a murder hand and therefore would not treat you right. Robin Hood has a bow that never misses and therefore would treat you right.
God, that's the dream, to have a bow that never misses. Again, I must remind you guys that we had hot dogs and ice cream for dinner. We're not doing well.
We're doing poorly right now. It's great.
All right, so we keep going back to how does this curse work? And is it a Sims world? Is it a thing where Regina sat there with a bunch of jobs that she didn't understand and was matching people up?
Correct, yeah.
And we never quite get what that is, except for a little bit in the first Welcome to Storybrooke episode that we get, where it's allegedly a time loop. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Right, sure.
Regina is screaming at Mary Margaret of like, you're gonna be miserable. Fuck you. You deserve this. If you wanted her to be so miserable, ma'am, you created the curse. Why did you give her a cushy lifestyle? You did this. And I recognize David was never supposed to wake up. That was not part of the plan. You can still make her miserable by putting her, I don't know, in a asylum that you already have because Belle's in it. I don't know. I don't know.
Make her Belle's roommate.
Truly. I don't know. I get there's maybe a part of her that was like, I would like to see her be single every day because that will bring me joy, but wouldn't you also like to see her crazy and alone and crying in a jail cell? I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like if I were in Regina's shoes, I would perhaps like to see her suffering actively every day versus having a job as a teacher, making birdhouses. The kids love her.
Like she's not suffering every day.
That's true. She's a teacher. She's suffering every day. But she has a job. The kiddos probably sometimes maybe like her. I don't know. She sleeps with Dr. Whale. Seems like a fine time for everyone.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
If you want her to have a bad time, give her a life that will ensure she has a bad time.
It's so true. It's so true.
But I'm just a little peeved about it. I recognize that wouldn't work from a storytelling perspective. We need Mary Margaret to not be in a cell. But from a mentality of I'm placing this curse that will make everyone be miserable.
100%.
I don't understand how Mary Margaret ended up with a job in a fairly nice home that we've learned is probably dirt fucking cheap.
Right. I don't know. We've learned because we've paused on newspapers, and apparently Full House in Storybrooke is $7.50 a month.
No, so, I cannot.
I will be moving to Storybrooke.
Look, me too.
For that rent price?
Be there soon.
Yeah, no,
And-
100%.
and
We'll live under the tyrannical despot that is Regina Mills for
Gladly.
$7.50 a month.
Gladly. Does she get to scream at me some days?
Great. Awesome.
Done.
100%. That's a bonus.
That's a perk. Like, put that in there, like, your home includes the mayor stopping by occasionally to scream at you. She will be wearing a tight skirt and shirt. Like, done.
Done.
Absolutely sold. Oh, man. Like, I know we ripped this episode to shreds, but it's only because it's fun, and I there was nothing bad with the plot, so I had to nitpick on weird shit.
Oh, yeah, no, this was a great time. Objectively, it was such a fun time.
Well, I think it's because we've mentioned this. We're just now getting into a string of like we're nearing the end of the season for one thing, but we're just coming into a string of episodes where they've hit their stride. They know what they're doing.
Yes.
They will eventually forget what they're doing and
but
make it up as
they sure have hit their stride right now.
Right. And it's so good. We have the August reveal. We have August trying to tell Emma the truth. We have Regina poisoning her son with an apple fritter. It's a fun time for us all.
Love a pastry poisoning.
And it's even alliterative.
So fancy.
I love it because we've had so much of this first season that's kind of character identity.
Yes.
Doesn't really matter. Maybe there will be one thing that matters, but
and
as
it was fun the first time. I do have to stress it was really fun the first time. I remember being really invested in those episodes that were literally like, here is Archie. Here is Archie in the Enchanted Forest. Guess what? He's Jiminy Cricket.
Exactly. But I think as you rewatch it and you realize it's not until the affair between Mary Margaret and David that things actually start having these repercussions that will affect the plot in big ways. Because up until that point, it's mostly just small stuff to give Regina and Emma attention, to give Emma a reason to stay.
Right.
It's small things that are important to we need this character to be here, and here's why.
Right.
But this is actively like, oh shit, no, things are happening. Someone's accused of murder. Oh, the person's dead. Oh shit, she's alive and in an alley because Ruby keeps finding all this stuff because she can track things and she doesn't want to, but she just can.
She keeps finding horribly traumatic shit. Great. We will not be offering her therapy at all.
No, no, Dr. Hopper doesn't do that.
Dr. Hopper does not work pro bono.
He does officiate weddings, so if you're looking for someone.
That is a thing he does. But only if you wear a velvet tux and a dress that does not match your personality at all.
Oh, God. And if you get married hours before a giant war. And if your child's name is Pixie Dust. I can't. I'm too angry. We have some list things to do.
We do, yeah. Okay.
I wasn't planning on having stuff. I'll just start. I know we usually start with you, but I'm extra salty because I was over here like, I've got nothing, sitting pretty, drinking my wine, and then the summary had to go and ruin my day.
You know.
August stares at her and says, shin splints. Are not shin splints. His leg is turning to wood because he's being a liar, a big liarson.
Yeah, no, he's a lying liar from Liarsburg.
Which is great because he's turning to wood for lying, so he stares at her and lies, which will make him turn to wood faster. So it's very fun.
Beautiful.
So it makes our tally 16 uses of the superpower, 11 fails, 5 successes. Lo and I were talking, and she made some very good points. We have some wild inconsistencies in my callings.
Well,
part of that's because, it's because the superpower is so bonkers. There have been times that we're like, evidence can lie, and then, like, the next episode I was like, evidence can't talk. So I will not be retroacting the count because that's too much work, and I don't want to listen to the show again just yet. However, moving forward, I will be basing the superpower off of Emma's words herself. She tells Henry and everyone who will listen, I can tell when someone is lying to me. Right. Someone implies you are a living thing. You can talk. The superpower rule is only enacted if so. Yes, we will only apply it if it is a human person looking at her and saying something that is not truthful.
Out loud.
Out loud. And it will not be the reverse. I know sometimes it's like, oh, she said, oh, you're telling the truth. Like, it maybe if it's an explicit thing where she's like, I know there's the one episode where Henry's like, use your superpower, and I'm not lying to you. And she's like, oh shit, you are telling the truth. In that case, yes, we will
allow
assess
for that.
Yes. But otherwise, it is this scenario where we have August staring at her saying, I have shin splints. And we know he does not.
Right. As viewers who have only watched the episodes we've watched, we don't know that he does not have shin splints.
But unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we have the curse of knowledge, much like Cassandra. And
oh,
therefore,
God.
We know he does not have shin splints. He has wooden legs.
Correct. So, again, not changing things, moving backwards, but moving forwards. It is only if a person vocalizes out loud to Emma's face. It cannot be passerby of, oh, well, so-and-so told... Like, it cannot be a, hey, Emma, Dr. Hopper told me that he's not a therapist. It has to be that person talking to them because lies can't pass through people if they think that person is honest.
Right.
They are passing the truth on.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Stupid example, but I couldn't think of any, so we're just going to roll with it.
That was very well put. He got his PhD from a curse.
It's true. It's not incorrect. But that is all I had to say on the superpowers. She did not clock the lie. We're at 11 out of 16, folks. I don't know what to tell you.
It's rough out there.
It's bad. But the good news is no curses, no beans.
Great.
Lo, take it away with that and stuff.
I have so much for you. By which I mean I just only have 2 things for you, but okay.
That's too many. That is too many things.
Correct. So number 1, let's start with the family tumbleweed. By which I mean the family tree, but it's a family tumbleweed. It's just rare we get to add right now. So we have to add Cora.
Yay.
Onto the tree officially. We knew she was here, but she is officially on the tree as Regina's mother. So it's Henry Sr. and Cora.
I've already blocked out half of this show. Have we had moments before this? No, we have, because Snow White has said that Regina is her stepmother. Okay, yes. We have gotten comfort. Okay, I was like, oh God, is this that also?
No,
Thank Jesus Christ.
Officially, they're already on the tree as related through marriage.
That's disgusting. Can't wait till we have to add Cora and Leopold, but then erase the line to Leopold, but also Regina has to go to Leopold. And also, Ava has to go to Leopold.
Please stop talking about my tumbleweed. I'm stressed out about it as it is.
Oh.
I don't know how all the lines are going to fit on the stupid paper.
That's a fair concern.
It's gonna be a project, is what it's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot. It's the family tumbleweed. Again, it's the family tumbleweed. There are going to be some curved lines on a family tree, which should not have curved lines. No family tree should have curved lines. Just as a record. Your line should be short and straight.
Correct.
Not long and curved, and there are going to be some long and curved lines on this family tumbleweed.
That sounds horrifying. I have to assume the fuckfern's doing much better.
No.
Oh.
Well,
why?
I mean, technically, I only have 1 to add.
2? 2?
I'm gonna say 1 for this episode.
Listening, go on. State your case, and I will argue if I feel.
State my case. Okay, so I am going to add 1 to this episode. Number 1, technically, we've already seen Regina and Leopold married. So
fine.
They're already considered on the fuckfern. I'm calling it for Emma and Regina. They are on this fuckfern.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, very much in the sexual tension stage of things.
They just paint it so well. It's the line where Emma's like, they probably didn't want to piss you off. There's just a moment where They might kiss here. I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't. Go on.
Yeah, no. So I'm calling it. That's 3. Number 1 was the apples. Number 2 was the fire. Number 3 is
We've arrived.
They weird looking up and down. Not weird. They're looking up and down after they didn't want to piss you off. So that's 3.
Okay.
They are officially on the,
right.
On the fuck fern as a weird sexual tension moment.
Right. There's one more you need to add. Because Regina has had her first kill with a kiss.
Of course. Yeah, we have to put Daniel on there. I always forget about Daniel because he will not be attached to anybody else.
No, but it's important only...
He's a nice little, like, side hustle that will have deceased written underneath.
Well, yes, because if Regina falls in love with you, you will die.
You will die, and yeah.
And it's sad, so
he's there.
It's her first kill by
kill.
love.
It's her first true love skill.
Baby's first true love kill. You never forget your first. God.
True love's kill.
I'm so deeply unhappy right now.
Yeah, no. I thought you were going to get into the core of it all, which will not.
No, that's later. That's later. Fret you not. No, I was just thinking the fact that she kissed a man, then he died, and that's important to me.
No, yeah. Everyone should know if Regina kisses a man, they will die, so.
I mean, so far, let's look, we've had Graham kissed and killed. Daniel kissed and killed. 2 for 2 on her kisses.
Currently.
I feel like this is something we need to be keeping track of kisses for.
You know what? Here's the thing. She's gonna does she not? She kisses David at one point, right? Yeah. Or does she kiss James at one point?
I think it's James. No, well,
I don't remember. It is. All I know is it's Josh Dallas.
He shaved his beard.
He did.
That's it. I wonder if their family friends have his sperm to create a bunch of I called it David. A bunch of little Josh Dallas.
A bunch of little Davids.
A bunch of little Josh Dallases. I'm going insane.
I don't know. Sounds like Ginny's into it, so.
Good for her. You know what? We don't kink shame. We've said it once, we'll say it again.
Right. We kink judge.
We kink judge.
Kink shame. Do whatever you want. I won't shame you for it. I will judge you at certain points.
Mercilessly. Oh my God. Do you have anything else? Are we done here?
I mean, that's all for the shrubbery. Good Lord. I just
none of this is good.
No, this was straight garbage, but
the best trash. I had so much fun for every single minute.
So much fun. What a good episode.
Holy shit. We have our origin story for our protagonist. Jesus. Even in my heart, she's the protagonist.
She is the protagonist. Again, Regina has done nothing wrong ever in her life.
Perfect human. I will not be taking notes, thank you.
Yeah, no. All of the murder, entirely justified. Will not be taking notes.
Oh, yeah.
No. But.
A perfect human. Perfect
human. No. 100%.
Yeah.
This was just fun. Like.
It was so much fun.
It is one of those episodes that. It certainly was one of those episodes that makes me angry when we get a bad episode.
Yes, I would agree with that. Because they have proven they are able to do good, clever, and fun things.
This was so much fun. It was so much fun to watch. It was important to the plot. It was well paced. Mm-hmm. I have literally zero things to tell them to change.
Right, we know I'll scream about it more. Whenever there's like Rumple and Belle moments, I'm like, no, that's not how you do toxic, fucked up characters. Regina is how you do someone who is toxic and fucked up but because of her circumstance and she wants to do better. That is how you make a character that is
redeemable.
One you will root and you'll root for, one that you care for while recognizing, yikes, this is not good. Again, not my opinion. Regina has done nothing wrong ever.
Right, but no, of course. She's done nothing wrong, but and does not need to be redeemed.
This episode's a bad time only because it makes episodes. It sets a benchmark for how good it should and could be.
Right. I think this is why we get upset. Episodes
Right.
like this, and even the last episode, are why we get upset. These are fun.
They will do things that are so clever, so well crafted and woven into a plot, and then either they drop it, never bring it up again, or give us some like hot shit like Rum Bell for 5 episodes, and we're like, fuck, hell, no one wanted this.
Well, and then, yeah, like, you just think about, I genuinely do, I don't remember the exact specifications, but I do remember watching Once Upon a Time season 1, and I hated Regina.
Oh,
hated.
I remember when you and I started watching in season 2, we would sit there hating her. I remember we'd have one of our friends over, and she also, like, all of us would kind of sit there and hate on Regina, like, oh my god.
But
your mother's over here like, I don't like her, she's not nice. And we're like, you tell him, Mama Poppins, she's not nice, you right?
I made my mom watch in college, like, I had watched the first season, and then I was like, you should watch this. This tends to be how I get my mother into things. I watch a season, and then I'm like, you would like this because otherwise, because I can kind of gauge if she'd like it or not.
Right.
And I had watched the whole season, and I was like, you'll like this. So I had watched the first season, and I think with her, I think I'd come home at Christmas time and been like, you should watch this. That feels right.
That feels correct.
I was already in, like, the hating, but then she was behind while I was ahead, and I remember hitting this episode and going,
yeah, I
don't hate Regina anymore. I don't like her. She's still the villain, but I sure understand her. And like, I remember the switch in my brain of like, and then having her watching it going like, she's not nice. I don't like her. She's mean. My mother is a kindergartner when it comes to her shows. So she talks about things like she's 5. She goes, yes, she's mean. She's not nice. And I'm like, yeah, but correct. Like, but the Daniel.
Well, watching this episode and then paired with, I think it's like episode 2 of season 2, where you see how Cora would trap her in her room and not let her leave and use snares to stop her. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, like, this poor woman has no idea what, like, good parenting looks like.
And what love is. Like, she, again, her mother never once in her life of being raised by her mom did Cora have a heart.
Right. No, she's
at all.
She is messed up in that she does not understand what most people understand.
Correct.
She does not know what love feels like. She does not know, like, you know, I mean, we can all argue Daniel shows her a little bit of that, but she doesn't know what good maternal love looks like.
And I would argue her trauma response, she never really dealt with that. She went right into, I'm hurt, I'm angry, I will not think. Like, you can tell when Daniel is zombified. Like, she has never reconciled his death. The fact that she's trying to bring him back, she never sat there and thought, this is a real thing happening to me. I need to process.
Right. She went, I can fix this.
And I will fix it by being really angry, enacting a curse, and being a piece of shit to everyone around me.
I'm going to change it, and I'm going to change it somehow. I don't know how, but I'm going to change it because this is not the ultimate outcome.
This episode just sets up so much good fun, and I'm so excited.
Good. I'm so excited.
I can't, in good faith, call it a bad time. I don't think I can say...
No.
But, I mean...
I don't know. The ice cream and hot dogs might have been a bad time.
Life is a bad time. I think we can all relate on it. Like, I think everyone on some level... If you're here listening to a Once Upon a Time podcast, I can only assume you also had hot dogs and ice cream for dinner.
That seems about right.
So... It was a bad time.
Right, but the good news is you can only go up from here.
Yeah.
Which I think in this episode is probably a very good sign.
Right. Absolutely. If this is where we are and we're going up from here.
Point,
oh, boy, howdy, I'm ready.
And we can only go up from here.
Yes. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Bye.
We will see you next time.
Don't forget to leave a review.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
that.
forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you're around.
Mm-hmm.
If not,
Mm-hmm.
feel free to send any comments, any fan mail.
Emails. Yes.
To
No.
either-
Fan mails. Talk about how much you like us.
Or roast
We're
us.
very vain. Our thing is, if you send us something, we will appreciate it, but also roast. Look how much we love this show when we roast it every day of our lives.
Right.
This is how we
Roasting
show
is love.
affection.
Roasting is
So
love.
roast us, we'll roast you, and that's what we do.
That's
Remember,
fine.
if you want to leave a comment, a good one you can always use is Red 8, her boyfriend.
Yeah. Love
It
that.
kind of just will work forever.
Did you know that
our-
Red 8 her boyfriend?
Lest you have forgotten, as always, our social handles are wine, and once, same as the podcast order. Alcohol comes first, whining comes second. You can find us on Instagram. You can email us. I think that's everything.
Right. Come back
Thank
next
you.
week. We love you.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
I
And
don't
good
know.
night. I don't know. Have a great week.
Have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.